Hello, everybody. How's it going? Today, I'm talking about the next upcoming Mercury retrograde happening on the 24th of October. This is joining the existing Venus retrograde cycle we'll already be in. And this video is about planning of events, functions, making any big decisions around this time, and just unpacking the charts together so that I can show you all the different aspects that are happening around this time. It's pretty gridlocked out and a heavy, busy season for all of us. And we're all going to be in a state of flux and of change and of internal introspection. And it's highlighting very strongly our relationships, our partnerships. Also with our significant other, it's because this falls in the Scorpio house, our wedding vows, our promise to our significant other. But it also highlights all kinds of partnerships, close, intimate, one-on-one partnerships, even in business, any contracts or any legal documentation that during this time is a very, very intricate time with a lot of challenging aspects happening. If you've already got an event planned and it can't be changed because this is already quite late, ideally this kind of video should be released a lot sooner so people can make plans as they do for big events. But there's always so much going on with the astrology that doing that in time can always get a bit tricky as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen and we can start unpacking all the transits that are happening during this time. And we can perhaps together find some dates that might work if you still have the luxury of time now to choose a date. Down here in the Southern Hemisphere, in South Africa, it's past spring, it's going into the festive season with a lot of functions happening around this time. But any kind of new launches, new businesses, signing of new contracts, new partnerships are all under review. And this is where we can get caught if we are not aware. If you have got an event that's already planned, this video is also helpful because it's about awareness, knowing what's happening so that we don't get entangled in the details. If you have awareness and you know that certain challenging aspects are coming up, you can have contingency plans in place. You can have a backup of different things. For example, if you're running on a tight budget and you're going to say, we're just going to wing it and it's going to work, that's where you can land up getting caught with these energies. And I'm going to show you now and you'll see what I mean. So it's not leaving anything up to fate, not leaving anything to chance during this time, especially if you have an event. It's all like you have to cross your T's, dot your I's, have backup plans in place because certain things will fall apart and you'll be able to have other things in place to then take it over. Again, it's just about awareness. If you have awareness, we can negate anything. It's when we're not aware and we don't know what's ahead and we're just hoping for the best that these kind of energies will catch us and it will be uncomfortable. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Here we are. Okay, so Mercury stations retrograde at 20 degrees of Scorpio on the 24th of October, like I mentioned. Immediately we see that Venus and the Sun are in a cazimi. The Venus is retrograding backwards and is about to move back into Libra. But at the moment, Venus is in an inferior conjunction, as we would say, with the Sun, because it's reversing and the Sun is taking over and surpassing Venus. And Venus is in a retrograde. So let's progress this. So Mercury stationed retrograde now. We're on the 25th of October, and already Venus has then immediately moved back into Libra. It's just so powerful that Mercury has stationed retrograde at this very, very potent 0 degrees of Scorpio. This is highlighting partnerships, as I mentioned, as a whole. And this is confirmed further with Venus retrograding back into Libra over here. So our partnerships are all under review during this time. I'm going to be doing a separate video discussing these energies from August. August is actually already a very powerful time that's igniting things, it's taking us into 2027. So this Mercury retrograde is just part of all of that. The choices that we're making now, everything that is going on for us in our lives in August is going to be taking us into next year. It's going to be carrying us into next year. The themes will be carried into next year. When Venus has a superior conjunction with the Sun, where it catches up with the Sun again in August of 2027. And that'll also be in Leo, ironically, where at the moment we are building at the bottom here, you can see in the 5th house of the Leo, we're building towards a powerful trio conjunction with the South Node, Jupiter, and Mars, where we're letting go of something in the way that we're expressing ourselves, in our creativity, in the way that we play. And for something more elevated. And it's got to do, again, with our partnerships. In relation to partnerships, something in the way that we go about expressing ourselves and expressing our creativity and our passions, all of that kind of stuff. Something is changing with that, because it has to change. We have to let go of something in furtherance of our partnerships. So I want to go ahead and share another screen. And this is a spreadsheet of the Venus and Mercury retrograde cycles. So here we are. Venus goes stationary retrograde on the 3rd of October. But from the 26th of September until the 10th of October, Venus is hardly making any movement in the sky. It's sluggish. It's moving minutes every day, 7 days prior to its retrograde, and minutes 7 days after its retrograde, as it starts gaining momentum in its retrograde cycle. So this is a very tricky position in time. 26th of September to the 10th of October is where Venus is holding. It's a hold off, it's a standoff. Internally, we are also just going within, questioning partnerships. Things are going to start being highlighted in this Venus retrograde in our partnerships that need to be adjusted. Over here, we also see that Venus and Mercury have a conjunction, and that's on the 6th of October. This is where we could become aware of something that's really frustrating in our partnerships, that's not working in our partnerships. It's also our value systems, what we hold dear in our hearts, what we're yearning for in life. It's our values. It's Taurus, 2nd house Taurus stuff, our fixed assets, our money as well. So certain issues will be highlighted and come to mind and be clear as to certain things that are bothering us. We also have a Sun opposing Saturn during this time, as well as a Mars opposing Pluto. So this is a heavy, heavy, heavy time over here. If you're having an event or you still have choice to plan an event, I would steer away from this lighter pink section. If you do have to have an event, make a choice, make a decision, make a move, or plan anything, I would do it between the 11th of October and the 20th of October is a window of opportunity, even though there are some very hard aspects that are still happening during this time, but at least Venus is moving in its retrograde. As long as there's movement with the planets, there's still integration. There's processing happening. The planet is working with us. Quickly, we can just go through. Pluto stations direct on the 17th of October. This is quite significant because this Pluto rules Scorpio, and Mercury is coming into a retrograde cycle in Scorpio, and Venus started its retrograde cycle in Scorpio and actually is still in Scorpio during this time. So Pluto going direct is also going to have a bigger impact on this retrograde and make it more intense, because Pluto is not withholding. It's not pulling back. It's not, there isn't introspection with Pluto. It's in a movement. It's starting to move forward and we're in its house as well. Even though Pluto is in Aquarius, it rules Scorpio. So it still has dominion over Scorpio. But Pluto in Aquarius naturally is squaring Scorpio, the Scorpio house. That's a 90-degree angle. Mars squares Venus on the 10th of October as well. That's creating tension in our relationships as well. And we have a new moon in Libra as well at 17 degrees of Libra, which is also significant. Also Libra, partnership, the house of partnerships. If we move forward here, we go into, this is the Mercury's retrograde cycle is the green line. And again, so Mercury goes retrograde on the 24th of October. But from the 21st until the 28th of October, Mercury is hardly making any moves as it's preparing to retrograde. From the 29th of October, Mercury starts making movements until the 10th of November in its retrograde cycle. So again, here is an opportunity of time that if you are wanting to plan something and you want to miss this very stagnant withholding energy, this would be another opportunity that you could plan something and do something. But again, this is Mercury. So signing off contracts, new partnerships, launching any new businesses during this time even with Mercury and Venus is not ideal. The energies are just not open. The information that is being delivered to us with this Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde is not complete. We don't have all our faculties about us. We don't have all the information at hand. Things will be revealed once this Venus retrograde cycle is completed, as well as Mercury's retrograde cycle. So this is a very tricky time, depending on what it is that you're trying to do. If you're researching, discussing opportunities with other people, future ventures, doing research, market research, all of that stuff is very good, as long as you're staying open and flexible. It's when you're making hard decisions, concrete decisions during this time, that you're not flexible afterwards once these planets go direct and give us the new information that we need. So there are many other aspects, and these are all very hard aspects that are happening during this time as well. We have the Sun squaring Pluto on the 26th of October. Venus opposes Chiron on the 27th of October. Again, highlighting the issues we are having in our partnerships. We do have a nice aspect here with Venus trining the North Node. That's on the 2nd. So we could say even on the Sunday, the 1st and the 2nd of November, that's quite nice, Venus trining the North Node. So there's a support between our values, our partnerships, and where we wanting to go in life, North Node. On the 5th, Mercury is Cazimi the Sun. And on the 6th, Mars enters its shadow period of the retrograde cycle. It's going to enter at the beginning of 2027 as well. So the other significant thing about this is that both Venus and Mercury stationary direct on the same day, on the 14th of November. So there's a synergy at play with Mercury and Venus, where Mercury has held back so that for Venus to go direct and almost complementing Venus's retrograde, so that we can all assimilate something in our relationships, in our partnerships. I'd like to stop this share and go back to the astrology charts over here. So the other interesting thing that just takes us out of the span is that Venus opposes Chiron for the last time on the 28th of November. This is where we get a final clarity on the wound that we are all experiencing within the relationship. The pain, what it is that we wanting to resolve. So I'm going to attach that Excel spreadsheet in my description below so that you guys can refer to that separately. And what I'd like to do is invite everybody. I would like to do one free session with somebody who's either got an event planned during this time or is planning something and they need some advice. I'm going to offer one free reading to somebody who can tell me what it is that they're planning, and I'll choose somebody from the comments, something that's exciting and interesting, and I will give a free reading to somebody on this Mercury retrograde cycle and how it's impacting their personal charts. Because it's also about looking at how everything's impacting you. How is Venus in relation to your natal chart and your progress charts? Mostly Venus, even Mercury, but Venus is the main thing. Is it in a favorable position to your natal position? Is it opposing you? Is it squaring you? It's important to know that, especially if you're making a big decision, some kind of big life event is happening, and you have the choice in the matter. And we could even record that session. And if somebody wants to stay anonymous with that, we can record that session and we can share it as well on YouTube as well, just for people to see how we can work with the chart and see how we compare the energies to our natal charts. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to my channel and give me a like if you enjoyed it. I'll speak to you guys soon.